I guess it's on air. All right, UFC 305 preview, MMA grind. We're gonna talk a little bit about the press conference where Drinkus Duplessis just absolutely cooked Izzy Adesanya, made him cry. Second press conference in a row, made Sean Strickland cry. Now he made Izzy cry. I mean, so cry me a river, Izzy. like, I mean, fuck, dude. Embarrassing. That's all I gotta say. Embarrassing out there. You know what Drickus did. He had a couple of nice, good comments. What was it? The dog comment. You know, he said, "What did Izzy say? I'm an underdog or something like that now." And then no one mentioned dogs, bro. Just chill. You know, like is DDP just cool, calm, and collective in there. Absolutely 10-8, 10-7. He won that press conference. I mean, he's in Izzy's head big time, rent free. Izzy does not. Izzy's too emotional. I mean, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's going to play out because Izzy does seem like the type of fighter that it might actually, play into his favor. You know, he was emotional with Pahea, the second time, and it kind of maybe it makes him more focused. But at the same time, he's been emotional this whole time with DDP. This beef goes back all the way to even it was when when DDP absolutely dominated Robert Whitaker, when he took him down, first round, ground and pound, dropped him with the jab, finished the fight. And that, I mean, on the feet, and then, pearl necklace and all, Izzy gets in the cage, he was cage side, comes in and just dropping N-bombs. What's up, whatever, So, I mean, he's definitely, DDP is definitely in his head right now, for sure. There's no way about, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. DDP is, yeah. So, I mean, he has that freaking, that BDE, I guess, even though there was another thing in the press conference Izzy tried to bring up was his package. He had the screenshot he had posted on Twitter or something like that of DDP, not having a package, getting right out the ice bath or something like that. And then, he tried to bring that up, and DDP had a good comeback for that too, saying, like, I was a freaking teenager, like what'd you find that on what'd you say, your YouTube with a search engine? What was it? I don't know. What do you call it? Yeah, your For You page, like what are you looking up, like the kitty porn, or what are you looking up here? So he's kind of just piggybacking off of what Sean Strickland did, when they had their press conference with Izzy, when he got under Izzy's skin as well, and we've seen how that turned out. So, I mean, Izzy definitely probably took Strickland lightly, and then Strickland just used that fuel with the whole anime, freaking jacking off the cartoons and, jerking off his dog or whatever else, and Izzy got emotional there too. And same thing here, So this is DDP's second press conference where he made his opponent cry. Strickland first with the whole, like the mental health stuff that he was going through, which is crazy, because, Strickland's a big badass America type guy, guns, all this shit, motorcycles, you know what I mean? Just man's man. And then he's over here crying about that stuff, you know what I mean? Like, and what did DDP tweet out right after? Something like, oh, why are you guys getting so emotional? I'm just, it's just a press conference, why are you guys crying out there? Like, like he's just literally just taking it on stride, calm, cool, collective. I mean, yeah. So 10-7, 10-8, DDP. He had another one what actually made him cry was he brought up Izzy, the fact that Izzy, there's a story going around that he had servants, kind of like Zamunda, like Coming to America type thing. Like bathers, bring out the wipers, was it like he didn't know how to wipe his own ass or take a shower or bathe himself till he was 8 years old or something like that. So it's like, and then he's going to get mad for him bringing it up, and it's like, that's what's crazy. And he wouldn't let DDP finish his sentence. He just started talking over him, getting all irate. And I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, he's definitely in his head. I don't know if it's going to play a factor because, like I said, Izzy might feed off that. Might make him more focused. But at the same time, I mean, dude, DDP, like, he's super calm. And I think that's what it is, man. He sounds like a kung fu character for back in the day. The whole dubs, like where it's just the way his whole demeanor and calmness, like he's just out there playing around and joking. Like, no matter what Izzy says, it doesn't get under his skin. He don't care. That's why he said, I don't care about your history, your story or whatever. And, Izzy's over here talking about, oh, you don't know my story. Me and my dad, I think his dad had a pressure washer business or something like that while his mom's going to nursing school, something like that. He was talking about, like, I guess that's a struggle. I don't know. He's from. So this like really, this fight, It's in Perth, Australia, but it's basically South Africa versus Nigeria / New Zealand / China. If you ask Sean Strickland, so this is for all the marbles, so to speak. Izzy's trying to be the first guy in the middleweight anyway to win it 3 times, the title. But I heard DDP said that in order for him to win it 3 times, he had to lose it 3 times. So it's like, that's true. That's an actual fact. He had to lose it those many times to get it back. So, I mean, it's impressive, but at the same time, when you think about it, Izzy is getting kind of like infinite number of title shots as well, rematches. This is off a loss. This is off a dominating loss against Sean Strickland. 5 rounds, embarrassment, and he said himself, embarrassing loss, and he's getting a title shot off it. So, I mean, how impressive, is that? If you're going to keep getting all these chances, then yeah, you could win your shit back, But this fight, it could go either way. I could see passive victory to both guys. Like as far as DDP, it's going to be obviously pressure in his face, pace, and overall, I think DDP is definitely a more rounded mixed martial artist. He uses all aspects of MMA. He's doing leg kicks, elbows, body kicks. He's throwing a lot of crazy, every strikes he can, but also leading into takedowns. And his ground and pound is vicious. Look what he did to Robert Whittaker. I mean, no one ever does that to Robert Whittaker. Robert Whittaker is known for having just a great takedown defense, like that's unheard of. And to go out there and he had him just fucking shook on the ground. He had him hurt on the ground, and then in the second round, drops him with the jab. Whittaker was on a Mighty Mouse podcast talking about like he hits hard, like people don't know how hard this guy hits, and he's strong as fuck. So you could tell he's got that gorilla rugby strength, and those rugby guys are just built different. They're playing football without pads, and running full speed at each other. Like this guy is just strong as fuck. And yeah, he's unorthodox, like kind of like Sean Strickland. I think he's a definitely different style for Izzy. Like he might actually play into Izzy's hands when it comes to the striking because he comes forward and reckless abandon, and that might actually give Izzy more. It definitely will give him more countering opportunities that like Sean Strickland wouldn't do, because Sean Strickland just comes in, jab, 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 marches forward, just flat-footed, throwing teeps, leg kicks, and just great defense. So he's not taking risks at all, really. It's kind of just, for as badass as Sean Strickland is, he's basically a point fighter. Like that's kind of how he is. Same thing with like Izzy. They both have had boring fights where they go all 5 rounds and not a lot happens and they just went on points. Dricus never really been in a boring fight. With Sean Strickland, it kind of was a little, but he still pushed that pace to make it an exciting fight. So it's like no matter what, he's in your face, he's throwing strikes. So I think it comes down to, will he be able to, how much punishment can Dricus take? How much damage can he take? Can he eat all those leg kicks? Can he do all that and still come forward and impose his will on Izzy? If he could do that and get takedowns, and if it ends up on the ground, yeah, I could see Dricus definitely like just tearing him apart on the ground and pound, maybe a submission. I mean, he has like a 19, out of his 21 wins, he has 19 finishes. So he's definitely, his finish rate's right there. He's always going for the finish. Izzy, on the other hand, he does play it safe a lot. He does take chances here and there, but I think in this fight, he's definitely gonna be going backwards. He's gonna have to get DDP's respect immediately, land something big. He's more of a sharpshooter, more of a, accurate type of fighter. So when he lands something big, he'd have to get the respect of DDP just to stop that forward momentum. If that happens, then I could see him picking him apart and maybe even rocking DDP and hurting him. Just like, I just don't see like what happened to Alex Pereira, like in the second fight, happening to DDP, because I feel like at 185, I do feel like DDP has a better chin than Pereira did. He was cutting fucking 40 pounds, So of course his chin wasn't there as much, So DDP, this is kind of more his weight class. He's very durable. He walked through pretty much everything Sean Strickland threw at him. He looked like a bloody mess. Sean touched him up, pieced him up, jabbed his fucking eye off almost, but same time, he was able to walk through all that. He might not be able to do that with Izzy because Izzy probably does hit harder, but he don't have the volume. He don't have the volume of Strickland. Strickland has that volume that could, it's just overwhelming with the volume, but DDP has that volume as well, and he hits harder, and like I said, he utilizes all of MMA, all his tools. So it's going to be a MMA fight, not just a kickboxing match. Kickboxing match, of course, Izzy wins all day. He can stay outside, pick him apart. So I think Izzy's path to victory for sure is just either if he can gain that respect, make it a slow fight, stay on his horse, on his bike, and just kind of pick him apart from the outside, kind of like we did against Paulo Costa, get his respect early, leg kicks, and I'm sure he's going to land a lot of leg kicks early. That's kind of his game. But the thing is, that's going to put him in the danger zone for takedowns and for just DDP's counters, and everything he throws is hard, reckless abandon, bad intentions. So, I'm leaning, this fight is kind of 50-50. It is a pick 'em, you know what I'm saying? But what happened with the press conference today, the stare downs, just everything, the way how emotional Izzy has been, crying and shit. Like I am leaning more DDP now I'm hoping to get the finish, third roundish, like kind of what he called. But I can also see if it's just he takes him down over and over again, because it kind of depends on how Izzy's going to come out. Is he going to come out and try to push the envelope and come out striking a lot more? If he does that, then that's going to play into, it's going to be easier to take him down. Because if he becomes more aggressive, if he stays on the back foot, he could get pushed against the cage, and it'll kind of be like with Strickland and DDP, where, Dracus is just basically pushing him back and being the aggressor the whole fight and just throwing bombs and mixing it up. So I could see either way happening, but I'm thinking more that DDP is going to be able to impose his will. Izzy seems too emotional, and I don't think Izzy's going to really be able to just take him out with one shot like that. It's not going to be a one shot, one kill with Dracus. He might be able to rock him, finish him, but he's shown that he's got some durability in there. He's got hit by a lot of big guys, big punchers already. So I think that's what happened in the regular fight. This is like a city kickboxing card. The co-main, the co-main. This is literally their gym. And I'm actually thinking that they're going to go 0-3 in this card. I think, you got Kai France. That's in the co-main against Steve Erceg, who a lot of people thought Erceg freaking won against Pantoja, so he's working his way to get that rematch back. And I just think he has like the same thing. I think Kai France is a little one-dimensional. Like he's an amazing striker, but I feel like Erceg mixes things up a little more, and he might be able to dominate on the ground and just mix it up and get the finish that way, or just a decision. It's a 3-rounder. So is the co-main 3 rounds, or do they go 5 still? Or are they going 5 now? Still 3, huh? Yeah, so it's a 3-round, no title on the line. So I could see Erceg just, winning 3 rounds, implementing his wrestling or takedowns, jiu-jitsu, all that shit. So, and like I said, this card's not all that, we got Tai Tuivasa going against Rosenstrike. Obviously that's a heavyweight. It's going to be a banger, probably a finish, maybe, the guy's just reckless abandon. Heavyweights, they always end quick. Who knows? Tai's on a 4-fight losing streak. Rosenstrike, I'm not sure. I think he won his last fight, but Tai needs this one, so the pressure's on him. Either way, he's probably gonna be doing a shoey, whatever. Tui's gonna be doing. That's him. Oh, yeah, he does the shoeys, huh? Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Then we have Dan Hooker, who basically got the freaking worst matchup he could get against the human blanket. Fucking, you know what I'm saying? So against what's his name? Gamrot, Matus Gamrot. So that fight right there. Gamrot's definitely gonna rape him. He's gonna try and rape him. He's gonna take him down. He has improved striking, which will lead to the takedown game. So I feel like Gamrot will be able to do what he's got to do. But Hooker's always dangerous, like he said in the press conference. You can't count him out in a fist fight, because he's a scrapper. He proved that against Jalen Turner when Jalen Turner was whooping that ass, and then he still came back and was able to overcome that. But I honestly think Dan Hooker has not been the same since he's fought Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier took so much out of him. Besides years off his life, he has not been the same since then. So I'm thinking that Hooker, he's gonna get beat. City kickboxing is gonna be 0-3. And like I said, the main event is a 50-50 fight. But in light of what everything is happening, how emotional Izzy is, that can't be good. That just cannot be good. But you never know, though. Like some people, that actually helps. You piss them off, they fight better, or whatever, more focused. But I just don't think DDP's gonna let that happen. He's in his prime right now, 30 years old. You got Izzy off a fucking devastating, really just ass whooping. He got his ass kicked for 5 rounds, outclassed by a guy he was supposed to just run through, supposedly on short notice. And now they're coming out with like the Izzy apologists. Like I heard one of the reporters like, "Oh, you were injured and you were this and you were that." He was the one calling for that fight. He wanted to fight DDP on that card, and DDP was injured, and he was calling him "do pussy" and all that because he didn't want to fight him. And then all of a sudden he's all, "I'll take Strickland then," you know, like or whatever. So he was pushing for that fight, and then he gets his ass beat, and now they want to put on, you know, like a fucking apology tour, you know, like I said, cry me a river, like don't cry no more. That's why I think Dreykus, what he should have did, he should have brought a box of Kleenex in the fucking stare down. And the ceremonial, the weigh-ins, he should have been like, "Here, just in case," you know, or whatever, you know, like don't cry no more, you know, like come on, man, it's not that serious. I don't know, maybe he got triggered from the dog comment first, you know, because Izzy did get emotional when Sean Strickland brought up his dog, so maybe it was that. But also just the whole Zamunda freaking, you know, he's, you know, like his servants and all that. "You don't know where I came from." All of a sudden he tries to get all hard. It's like, dude, come on, dude. Well, you don't have to play that way. You know, you could be like, just be real with it. You know what I'm saying? It's like where you really came from. So let me know what you guys think. Whoever's watching, TJ, you out there somewhere? Throw a comment up. Like, subscribe. Let me know who you guys think on this fight. Like I said, I'm picking City Kickboxing to go 0-3, and I like those guys. They're all good fighters. You know what I mean? Like even Izzy, like at one point, you know, he's an entertaining guy, but he has thrown up some fucking snooze fest up there too. You know what I mean? He's fought Yoel Romero, boring ass fights. I mean, like when you break it down, like the guys he actually beat or beat up even, I mean, they weren't. I don't know. I'm not trying to tarnish his legacy. Obviously, he's one of the best middleweights all the time, all that. But I think his time is pretty much done now. Maybe this DDP's time. And Sean Strickland Dana White already came out saying that he's going to get the rematch against either of these guys, whoever wins. And so see how that goes, because Strickland's just kind of holding out right now, just chilling after he beat Costa. But also, I just want to say UFC 307 was announced, the main event, Alex Pereira against Khalil Roundtree, which kind of like surprised everyone, you know, right there. Everyone's kind of like, you got Jamal Hill coming out hating right away, you know, like, of course, make a video, like, because, you know, Khalil basically pulled out of that fight because he tested dirty or tainted substance or whatever, accidental. He did the right thing and pulled out. There's going to be a Utah, too, so it's going to be an altitude fight, which Pereira did have, you know, he has experience there when he fought Jan last year at UFC 291. You know, at altitude. So, I mean, with 5 rounds, this could be a banger. This could be like fight of the year right here, because both these guys, you got Khalil Roundtree, like Tiger Muay Thai, where he actually lived like in freaking Bangkok for, I don't know, a couple years, something like that, sharing up his Muay Thai. I like his leg kicks. I like he has that Thai light legs, front leg stance. I mean, so that's going to be, he definitely has power to knock out anybody, but a lot of people are pissed because it's like, who did he beat last time? He beat fucking Smith. You know what I mean? He beat Lionheart, you know what I mean, to get up there. So, I mean, but whatever, it is what it is. I think Ankalaev, obviously, he's next in line or was most deserving, but I think this also could have came into play because he can't get into the country. That's the rumor, like he can't fight here. So maybe it has something to do with that. But I don't know what this is about, but everyone's kind of tripping on the fight. I like the matchup. Obviously, does Khalil deserve the fight? Of course not. He don't have a top 5 win. But when you look back, I don't think Jamal Hill had a top 5 win either, other than Glover when he got that, you know. So when he got his title shot, so he wants to complain about that. But who did he beat to get that title shot? He stepped in line, short notice to replace somebody. That's the only reason he got that title shot. So, I mean, shit happens. You know what I mean? Maybe there has to be some other underlying reasons why they're doing this. So you got Kayla Harrison on that card too, against who's it? Caitlin Vieira, I believe. So that's gonna be a banger because Caitlin's a beast, jiu-jitsu game. But you got freaking the ultimate women beast, like roided up Ronda, basically. You know, so that's gonna be a good fight. Who else is on that one? There's another good one on that one, right? Another was like, what was it, Wonder Boy and Buckley? Oh, that was announced on there too. Wonder Boy and Buckley. Yeah, I like that fight too. Yeah, because I seen Buckley when he was on Rampage. He was calling out Wonder Boy. He wanted a Wonder Boy. He was talking about that. That's a nice one. I like that fight. You know, Buckley has like a kind of resurgence since he's been at 170. You know, he cut down from 185 because that guy carried a lot of muscle, but he was a little short in stature. So at 185, kind of like he was just little, but now he's just been kind of beasting everybody at 170. So that's a good matchup right there for Wonder Boy too. Kind of getting a little up there, you know, like he's getting a little over there, you know, like for being Wonder Boy. You know, what I mean, he's like in his 40s now, so you know this could be one of his last showcase fights. But definitely fireworks on that one. You know, like Wonder Boy. I mean, you just want to stand and have a karate match with Wonder Boy, you might get fucked up. So like, but Buckley does kind of mix it up a lot. He's been using a lot more wrestling. You know, he's been doing some vicious ground and pound, and that's that. Going back to the Izzy and DDP, the ground and pound I think of DDP is really underrated. Like what he did at Whitaker, it shows that he's fucking brutal down there. And I feel like if he does get Izzy down, I think he will get Izzy down at some point. And Izzy, it's not like, yeah, he's longer. It might be a little bit tougher. He does have good takedown defense. It'll be a little tougher. And if you look at Jan was able to take him down kind of at will, but didn't really do much with it. He don't really look to advance position. He don't really look to throw a lot of damage when he's down there. He was kind of holding him. DDP is always looking to fucking land damage, you know what I mean, no matter what. So I feel like DDP will definitely put some hurting on him if it does go to the ground, you know. So it's all going to depend on if Izzy can just keep DDP at that distance. Like I said, like if he could just pick him apart from the outside, I could see him doing that too, you know, make it a boring ass fight, whatever, and just piecing him up, you know, pitter pat shit, just landing leg kicks, you know. But I just think DDP will be able to walk through a lot of those, you know, as long as he don't get him too big. And I think he will be able to impose his will. I mean, he looks huge already. He's already rehydrating. He got a whole nother day to rehydrate. They're fighting on Sunday over there. So, I mean, he's going to be freaking jacked. I mean, he's a little tank, you know what I mean? And he brings it every time. Every strike, it's kill or be killed. You know what I mean? Like I said, he's ready to die in there for that belt and ready to kill for that belt. So I like his whole attitude too, where he was kind of like, you know what, nah, that belt, once that cage door closes, that belt's not mine. I gotta fight for it again. You know, like that's nobody's belt at that point. I gotta fucking kill for it again. It's not just mine. It's not like the belt doesn't help me. You know, it's not gonna help me win. You know, so it's crazy. Yeah, Izzy definitely. You know, he has a lot more to prove. He hasn't fought since his fight against Strickland. He's been out for almost a year. You know, after he was saying he was gonna fight till like 27. So this fight's kind of been a long time in the making. Like I said, Izzy has that whole African shit kind of got in his head since way back when, and it's definitely fucking with him. So I mean, but yeah, that's all I got. I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. So first live stream, so gonna keep this short and sweet. But yeah, let me know what you guys got and what you guys think. Yep, that's it. All right, yep, that's all I got.